Mm-hmm. 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 Ah, hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for the last nearly 1 year and counting, because the 1 year anniversary of our daily stream streak is 2 days away. On the 14th of April, we will have been streaming every day for 1 year. So I guess depending on how you want to count it, tomorrow is the last day of the year, and the 14th is the birthday. So maybe we can celebrate for 2 days, I don't know. I'm feeling greedy. I'm feeling accomplished. Suffice it to say, we have been streaming every day for the last year, so I can open my office door to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they come from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e., fandom. Either way, we are here for the next little less than an hour for today's coffee break. But before I begin, a little bit of housekeeping must occur. First and foremost, Lone Claw. Congratulations on being the #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Alongside you, Dr. Wesker, Kittyfly, Amber, Senior Researcher Alex, Wozcom, and Captain Gilbert. Everyone who I have just named, thank you for being here at today's stream punctually, and thank you for being members of Site-42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, Starvoid Space, Sandwich Alvarado, Joey Smith, 953, Dexter Morgan, and Fat Duck. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here today, just for being you. Now, our stream subject and our sponsor today are co-related, because today we are sponsored by, and by sponsored by, I do not mean that we are taking money from someone, I mean that we are giving attention to. There is a brand new SCP Foundation short film live action on YouTube by Fisk Productions, SCP Blind Vector. Now, this is out of Norway, so you're dealing with subtitles if you are an English speaker. But they did at least put this part in English. But we have a briefing on SCP-966, The Sleep Killers. Title card, Blind Vector. We have our agent investigating the location where the sleep killer might be. Of course, we know that sleep killers react to EMF, so you would use that to find an invisible entity. By the way, an invisible entity. Very clever tactic for not having to do a lot of special effects. Love that budgetary mindedness in our indie films. But of course, you may see some violence. You may be seeing something in the darkness. Ooh. And so, linked in the chat by our moderator desk, linked in the Site 42 support beacon, which is pinned in the chat. Go to Fisk Productions on YouTube. Say hello from the Site 42 community. If you have nothing to say about the film after you watch it as a comment, simply say Dr. Sherman sent me or Site 42 sent me, because we want to keep the SCP inter-community growing, so people know that if you want to know what's going on in the SCP community, come to us, and we'll tell you when the good stuff is coming out from others. I would watch, but I have the worst fucking attention span. It is a 9-minute short film, 953. I'm begging you. Watch it 2 times speed. Then it's only less than 5 minutes. You can do this. I promise you. You have the power. I believe in you and your ability to watch live-action SCP short films at double speed to give them a quicker time, but still having watched and consumed the product and enjoyed it. But yes, I got an email in my inbox that says, hey, Dr. Sherman, we dropped our short film. And so here we are. You know about it now too? Spread the word. I'm going to be sharing it on social media later today, but you guys, hot off the presses, first to know. So, thank you very much, Site 42 staff. As always, this is one of those times where Mobile Task Force Sci 42, codename Signal Boosters, is meant to mobilize. You gotta watch it, you gotta comment it, share it in SCP Foundation Discord servers, pass the buck, make sure people get attention. They're not a big enough channel to get ad revenue, but if we get eyes on them, it might inspire them to keep making more SCP films, and as they get bigger, they'll get a channel worth ad revenue. They will get people watching who want to donate to their future endeavors. We can build a whole new SCP Foundation film group out in Norway if we play our cards right. So Mobile Task Force Sci 42, you have your orders. Good luck and Godspeed. YouTube is having so many audio problems lately. It's not just the noise cancellation, it's also desyncing constantly. I can't help but think that this is a OS problem or a YouTube problem. I'm not sure who. Is their studio/company name inspired by the game Go Home Mr. Fisk? Kitty Fly, I do not have the answer to that question. I only just met these folk. But you can ask them in the comments. That would be an interesting thing to comment and see if you get a response. Of which I'm sure they'll get a response. They're very excited for people to watch their film. They've been responding to all of the comments. But okay, that is our sponsor and stream subject. SCP-966, codenamed the Sleep Killers, loose in Norway. The Foundation is going to get them. So, enjoy the film. Let us know what you think of it. Let them know what you think of it. And we'll move on to the next 45 minutes of standard Q&A, starting with the donations that came in during the intro. Kitty Fly, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member, and thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi, which, as we know, only takes 3% of your donation, whereas YouTube Super Chats take a whole 30%. So we definitely appreciate you going through the effort to go to the Ko-Fi when possible. Grab yourself a breakfast burrito on your way past the commissary. May we get a good look at Agent Charlemagne? I require references for fan art. Agent Charlemagne's presence. Let me take a quick look outside. Agent Charlemagne is not in the office. Well, Kitty Fly, right now, Agent Charlemagne is nowhere to be found, but I can tell you that Agent Charlemagne will not be gone from this room for long. So, hang out in stream for a little bit. We will do our best to succeed in that goal for your art reference. Thank you for your patience in this matter. The Void, thank you for pressing F to pay respect to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am certain they feel very respected. Dean Cass, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a cucumber water on your way past the commissary. Hello, Doctor. Hello to you, Dean Cass. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Let's see what that notification was. Lord Dragonic, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. And thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi. Grab yourself a chicken wing on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, the new site director, has arrived and been briefed about the still screaming blood pool. Further information has been gathered, and it appears that only I and a select few can hear the screaming, and we all feel an instinctive need to flee. Send Mobile Task Force, blood pool breach. Huh. What a coincidence that I dropped a video regarding the Iron Lung film and the blood pool just today for this disaster to escalate. I hope I did not have a hand in this. Either way, additional forces will be routed from nearby areas to see what happens. And now, Kitty Fly, I hope you had patience, because Agent Charlemagne has deigned to bless us with his appearance. And so here is Agent Charlemagne. A very good boy. And of course, Agent Charlemagne could not be present without Puppy of Interest 42, codenamed Charlie, also being seen, because she wants to be seen as well. Sweetie Pumpkin, Agent Charlemagne, and Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie. Looking like that Michelangelo's man reaching out a finger to God in this pose. Very art. Don't be yawning at my artistic references. Well, reach your little fingy out. Oh, almost touched. Fantastic. Kitty Fly, I hope you got the reference you needed. And for mine allergies, and then we will continue. Do 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 do. Okie dokie. Returning to the chat. Refreshing this just to be clear and crisp. Scroll to bottom. There we go. Affleck, thank you for your 10 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. I just got a #1 Comms Man mug. Neat. Oh, congratulations on winning the #1 Comms Man award. I got my site director mug a while ago, but I've been switching over to tea and water for a little bit to try and ease off the coffee a little bit. That 20 million gallons of coffee in the West Wing called to me a little too thoroughly, so I've had to cut back. Woes calm. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a street taco on your way past the commissary. Turns out SCP-008-Z is not even SCP-008. It's a new anomaly. It's an anomalous A virus that the blood turns a deep green and the mouth starts foaming EXE. So it's an anomalous rabies virus of sorts. Well, continue your research if you need any requisition of D-class personnel for infectee research, I am sure we can abide. Cool Man Fight, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some hot dog and bologna on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, can we get copper chainmail for protection against bitey SCP? And I do enjoy a good fried chicken meal. Is that and spider on your ceiling? Thankfully, my ceiling is spider-free, and I reacted in a very calm and not outrageous manner. I'm very proud of myself. Furthermore, I guess if you would like a fried chicken meal instead of a hot dog and bologna, you can do that if you wish. Furthermore, copper chainmail. Is copper typically used for chainmail? I believed it to be a different metal. Oh, I guess they do make copper chainmail. I mean, it has a much more fashionable sheen than the standard steel. But okay, if you need to be that specific, I'm sure there's an anomaly that's specifically weak to copper or something like that. So it'll take a while to build such things, but I guess if we can talk to Armory, perhaps they can enlist a smith to the site for a while to start linking some chains. You are correct, Puppet Boy. At least it's not titanium. First son of a bitch to ask for titanium chainmail, muted for 10 minutes. Dr. Nightmare Bonnie, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a hot link on your way past the commissary. What if Cartoon Cat was an SCP? Would that happen? Well, let's look at this first from the pataphysical narrative level above us. Cartoon Cat is a creation of Trevor Henderson, and Trevor Henderson is not an SCP content creator, nor does Trevor Henderson release his works to the SCP community, except for that one time when someone on the SCP community asked permission to use Big Charlie as the image for one of their SCP articles. And that second time that during the SCP-173 community releasing of the original SCP-173 photo and people making their own iterations, Trevor made a couple iterations of 173, which was very cool. But long story short, Trevor Henderson creations are separate from the SCP universe, so on its face, it wouldn't be an SCP. But let's say that Trevor Henderson was an SCP creator and made Cartoon Cat as an SCP. Well, what I would imagine is the good news is Cartoon Cat seems to stay isolated to its haunted mall, and then maul, M-A-U-L, people who go in there. But if you don't go in the mall, we can just surround the perimeter and keep people out. Now, if it moves, then we have to hunt it place to place, but because it follows toon logic and haunted logic at the same time, that means that we're dealing with a Keter anomaly at minimum, and it would be rather just trying to protect people from interacting or getting mauled by it. It's about the best we can do with such an entity. Site 42 Containment Hazard Assessment Team, IE chat, make sure to pay attention to the blue name in the chat. That's the moderator. If you break the rules and the moderator says not to do it again and you do it again and you didn't pay attention, it's not on the moderator if they block you for breaking the rules repeatedly. Dongen Dons is in the chat. Dongen Dons, SCP Animator Extraordinaire. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you've been doing well. I did comment on your latest video about SCP-001, Lily's proposal, before I got to the ending. That's why I was very optimistic, and then I had to edit to say, actually, no thank you. Because it's been long enough. If you haven't gone to see that animation Dongen Don's made, I'm going to spoil it. So I guess Desk will alert you when the spoilers are done, so poke your ears right now. In Dongen Don's SCP-001 Lily's proposal video, it turns out that Lily's proposal is the precursor for when day breaks. All this time, Lily's proposal has been my favorite SCP-001 because, hey, It would be nice if the world was going to end and we're all going to die. At least it could be a nice, mellow, calm, comfortable temperature death. But no, then we all get turned into flesh monsters. And in fact, Lily's proposal serves as bait to bring everyone out into the sunlight. Rude, says I. Rude headcanon, Dons. But because this is the SCP Foundation community, and everything in our community is horrifying in one way or another, I approve of your horrifyingness. Bravo. Gisela Crowley, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. And that is the end of the spoilers. Go watch Don's animations about the SCP community. Another member of the international SCP community, as most of the videos have voice lines in non-English with subtitles. Good stuff. SCP Worldwide. We're like Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide. Puppet Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a... Oh, well, I guess grab yourself some cake over there, some birthday cake, because it is your birthday, your day of birth. Hey, Doc, it's my birthday. This last year's been rough, but I'm glad to still be here. Thank you, Desk and Chat, for being such a great community. Your support means the world to me. Hell yeah, Puppet Boy. The world has been a mess, even just on the global scale, let alone what might be happening in each of our individual lives. But we work together, we stay together, we do our best to lift each other up, and we make it through the problem times. One way or another, people. One way or another. So congratulations on making another year around the sun. Puppet Boy, happy birthday to you. Researcher Rune, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your newly minted membership and service. What is an SCP that no one knows about? Well, Intern Kane, there are several reasons why no one might know about it. It might be because it is brand spanking new. It's so new that no one's seen it yet. It could be highly, highly classified to a point where no one can find the documentation for it. Yes, I know. It's very classified. I shouldn't even be telling them that those kind of articles exist. I understand. No, I'm the site director. I'm allowed to tell them these things at my discretion. I will amnesticize them with a amnestic cognitohazard at the end of stream. I know. I'm handling it. I'm handling it. Puppy Avengers 42. So excitable about protocol. Very good girl. Studying her training part. Dr. Sherman, do you know the story of subject D9341? Well, that is the D class who partook in the SCP Containment Breach scenario, and has a very dramatic backstory if you go through the lore of that game and some fandom wikis. And, in case you are a Containment Breach fan, it was also made into the SCP-9341 article. SCP-9341 is SCP Containment Breach, the article. So if you are an D9341 fan, I highly recommend you check out that SCP document. What is Containment Breach? Dr. Wesker, I'm a little shocked to hear you say that. SCP Containment Breach is a free-to-play game. Not free-to-play. It is free-to-play, but it's not a free-to-play game. Free-to-play usually means there's payments involved and gotcha gambling stuff. It is just a free game that you can get, and it puts you through, as a D-class, an SCP Containment Breach scenario, with random anomalies chasing you around. It is a highly popular game that just recently got a new update that I hear is pretty sweet. It's free? I didn't know that. Yes, SCP Containment Breach is completely free. You can just download Containment Breach. In fact, I believe maybe is the new update free too? Desk, you are the knower of the gaming side of SCP. I'm not so much the knower. Is the new update free or not? Desk will let me know. While I wait for Desk's input, Muini, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a nice cucumber sandwich on your way past the commissary. Would SCP-055 and 529 work off when day breaks? Can you clarify that sentence a little bit? The typos of the terrible YouTube Super Chat keyboard have taken away some of your meaning. Oh, okay, you're trying to say 52. Wait a minute. 529 is Josie the Half Cat. That's part of what was confusing me. Are you talking about SCP-527, which was combined with SCP-055 in the SCP-5000 tale in order to reset the universe? John Marston, thank you for subscribing to Site 42. Welcome to staff. Muini, that is what you meant. Okay. So, seemingly, because the combination of 055 and 527, or 579. 579 is what the secondary anomaly is. To be clear, it is 579 and it is 055. So, with that in mind, it seems like a time reset, which would mean that it would reset time in any scenario, not just the 5000 scenario. So it should reset a when day breaks. Now the question is when day breaks stoppable or alterable? Because if not, it doesn't really matter if we set back time, because we're just going to be going toward the same time when day breaks yet again. Here we go. Desk has confirmed for me that the versions of Containment Breach in their entirety on Steam at least are free. So, have fun with a free game in the SCP universe and one of the most popular SCP games. Hell, the reason I was so confused when Dr. Wesker asked is because most people learn about SCP from how famous Containment Breach is on YouTube, played by such giants as Markiplier and etc. Desk is also informing me that when day breaks can be stopped, and I can prove it via the wiki. I look forward to your lore dump, Desk. Returning to the chat to refresh and catch up with what everyone is saying. Come on. Dr. Sherman, what if you ground SCP-173 into a powder and put it in the water? Will the water snap your neck? So, I would imagine... I don't see why destroying and pulverizing the statue would stop its anomalous abilities. I do believe, but not only would it wouldn't be the water snapping your neck, it would be all of the particles of 173, which, loosed from each other, can now spread across the land as a cloud of murder, but the wider they go, it's singular particles that are doing the problem. Worldwide apocalypse is what I'm saying. All right, popping over to see a Ko-Fi notification. Aflac, thank you for donating again to say. Dr. Sherman, some Gamer Against Weed members are shoving spoons into their rectums while shouting World Star in Trafalgar Square. That's not good. The Gamers Against Weed trolls should not have butt spoon technology. Butt spoon technology is too powerful for anyone, let alone a group of interest who actively tries to troll the Foundation. And now everyone's confused or upset, which that is not shocking. And let me pull up the documentation for butt spoons. SCP-7052. Codename Spoons in Butt. The answer to the question here is do not put spoons in your butt. Putting spoons in your butt is bad. Never put a spoon in your butt. It will kill you. Spoons being inserted into your rectum kills more than 10,000 people a year. More than 200,000 are hospitalized. This is our anti-butt spoon propaganda misinformation campaign. Because, in actuality, putting spoons in your butt gives you reality bending powers. The more spoons, the more power. And so, please do not put spoons in your butt. It makes you something that needs to be contained. It's a problem. Do not put spoons in your butts. Read SCP-7052 for more information on why to never put spoons in your butt. I don't care that putting one spoon in your butt gives you better luck. I do not care that putting 3 spoons in your butt makes you more attractive to the gender of your choice. I do not care if putting 9 spoons in your rectum makes you a god. Don't do it. I'm waiting for my computer terminal to finish the glitch it's currently having. There we are. We're back. So, when daybreaks can be stopped, and I can prove it via the wiki, and the tale that Desk showed for me for lore on how to stop when daybreaks is a tale called The Death of Alto Clef, aka Agent Ukulele, aka Adam Ben Yahweh, aka Lucifer First of the Fallen, aka that bastard, etc. And the tale simply has one line. And then the sun went out. So to me, that feels like the universe ended. And that's why the sun went out. It feels like Clef's narrativistic importance and Mary Sue-ness made Clef a cornerstone of the universe in the way that when Clef died, so did everything else. Is that just my reading? Dr. Lovelace, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a fruit salad, yummy, yummy, on your way past the commissary. When day breaks is absolutely preventable. You can, number 1, shield the Earth. Number 2, shield the Sun. Number 3, swap the Sun with an identical star using teleportation. Well, I mean, technically, what you're doing then is you're preventing the consequences of daybreaks. You're not actually preventing daybreak. You're preventing the consequences of daybreak, which, still very useful to have. I agree. The audio is off now. Again, that should fix it. And YouTube, get your shit together, please. Just get a new star. Okay, do you know how hard that is to do? I mean, Puppet Boy, after the Spider Moon incident where we blew up the Spider Moon, we did just get a new moon. So, I mean, stars are just bigger, hotter moons. Shouldn't be that hard. Dr. Sherman, do you know of any SCPs where someone interacting with an SCP and no one, including the user/interactor, knows that I could read? Froy, you're asking if there are any SCPs where there is someone interacting with it and no one knows, including the person who is dealing with the anomaly. So the SCP is affecting someone, but nobody knows it, including the person who is the anomaly. I guess my question is, does the person being affected know that they are interacting with something, but they don't know it's an anomaly? Like they're talking to a person, but they don't know the person is anomalous? Or is it that it's completely like Anti-Memetics Division hardcore, where the person being affected doesn't even know that there's a person or thing affecting them? Which way? OMG, like that short film you reacted to one time, I don't remember the title. There is the first episode of There Is No Anti-Memetics Division by Andrea Joshua Asnikar, where the person is pulled out of reality by the anomaly and therefore can't interact with anyone around them. Desk is also pulling up something that can answer your question, Froy. Oh, by the way, as a time check, everyone, we have about 19 minutes left in stream today. 19 minutes. Hey, I'm writing my first SCP right now. Any tips for a first-timer? Intern Hoopo. What I recommend to you first and foremost is, before I give you my tip, I want to ask a question. You're writing your first SCP. Have you gone through the new guide for beginners on the SCP database, the guide for newcomers, the join the site, the contribute, the frequently asked questions, and the universe hub? Have you looked into these as you've started your writing process? I ask that because most people just get to work on their project. They don't actually consider that the wiki's posting process is rather rigid. And not only do you have to learn how to write an SCP, but you have to learn how to interact with the community properly so they don't get mad and ban you. And so it's not just about making your art, it's about learning to interweave yourself with the community successfully. Those guides are going to help you understand how to do the green light process, which is pissing. Never mind. Pitching your SCP idea to a current SCP author who can tell you if you're on the right track of writing something interesting or not. Then, once you get a green light from an author to say, hey, yeah, it sounds like you got a good idea, you should write that, then you go through your writing process and drafting process and getting critique from other SCP authors most beneficially, or friends of yours who are good writers if you don't have any SCP author friends and can't find any. Or you go to the Discord server for the SCP Wiki for critique. Suffice to say, you got to go through your drafting process and go through a couple of drafts before you are finally ready with a finished product to submit. Puppet Boy, you are correct. We do have more likes and viewers right now, Site 42 staff. And thanks to you guys hitting that like button, this stream, which starts with a shout out for an SCP short film newly released on YouTube, is going to get more algorithmic love. More people will come in, learn that there is a new live action SCP short film that they should check out on YouTube. And because of your helping out with that like button, the algorithm button, we are going to be able to help more and more SCP projects like Fisk Productions. So thank you for your service, Containment Hazard Assessment Team, and hitting that like button. You are doing good work. Froy, Desk would like to point out that SCP-1504 is an anomaly that we keep forgetting exists. It's Joe Schmo, just so normal that we forget it exists. And so that could be something to look at for your thing. And I saw that you posted something now. So Dr. Sherman, it's a ring that one affects the color of their eyes and tips of hair, and any keyboard that the person touches, the O key turns into 0 when typing. That's the situation someone. So it's the ring of minor annoyances. Based on how low level that is, I might go into the log of anomalous items and consider some of the items in there which are rather insignificant and don't require much in the name of containment. There's more to it, I swear. It's just a lot to explain. Well, good work putting it all together then. I mean, the most important thing in that case is to write the story from how the story functions. Maybe you don't need to follow any guide from the wiki. Maybe you just need to follow the logic of the Foundation interacting with this anomaly and this researcher and what kind of confusion it would go. SCP-8980, as horrifying as it is a solid rundown of how the SCP Foundation categorizes a new anomaly in their midst. Now, that one is complicated by Dr. Christopher Burns being a douche, but the rest remains. Look for anomalies where the SCP Foundation newly codifies the anomaly, because here's the deal. The SCP Foundation won't have a document on it until it's discovered and researched. So you're not going to have much of a document if the SCP Foundation never finds out what it is. Know what I mean? Floating away. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a croissant on your way past the commissary. When day breaks only means one thing, that anomalous sun belongs in a box. Secure, contain, protect. Do your jobs or learn what it is to get redacted. Well, floating away today, my universe does not have access to Dyson spheres, which would be the surefire way to contain the sun in a, quote, box. But, hopefully you've got that technology if your day breaks is coming soon. Soraya, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a blueberry muffin on your way past the commissary. Found a weird book on my desk. Think it's some sort of play. Don't remember the title. Something about a yellow king. I don't know, I'll read it later. Well, the SCP Foundation knows about a hanged king. And the hanged king is the problem that we don't want you interacting with. Just don't read it later. Put it in a nice containment box that we can look at it later. Just put it away. Put it in a box. Don't read it. Closing some things here. Clearing tabs, clearing tabs. Desk, Mr. OC is SCP-2839. No one knows he's an anomaly due to his anomaly. It's. I forgot I'm reading DJ from AEED, those hippies. 2839, Mr. OC. Oh, God. Dr. Wepler's personnel file? Really? It is an SCP document pretending to be a personnel file because Mr. OC. I see. Silly, silly, silly. Damn it, Gamers Against Weed. Frogman, you asked for a time check. We are currently 11 minutes from the end of stream. Can you technically use SCP-294 to make liquid gold and then make infinite money, or does it have a limit to what it can create? If there is a limit, then what is the limit? So remember that 294 does not create liquids. It steals them from somewhere a distance away. There is a set distance where there are plenty of liquids, so to speak, that don't exist and therefore it can't make them, or that are out of range. And so, as Dr. Frogman says, it won't make liquid gold, it will take liquid gold from somewhere else. And so what you're looking at there is a theft that would create a, albeit anomalous, crime of someone trying to figure out, oh, where did the gold go? How did it just vanish? And then we have to start doing cover-ups because of that. So it's just more trouble than it's worth. Floating away today, thank you for donating again to say. Staff are not allowed to date anomalies, but how do we handle it when the anomalies are dating? Are they allowed date nights? Didn't we just talk about this yesterday? So, standard operating procedure would be the anomalies don't date because we don't let them date. They are not just guests here at the Foundation, they are prisoners. They are contained objects. But furthermore, there are certain anomalies which require us to allow them to date and see each other for containment purposes, such as SCP-3080, where on one hand, they are former Foundation staff members and they were married, so we let them interact. But really, we only let them interact because if we didn't, they would hulk out and break out of containment due to their anomaly. So, the answer is no. But Sherman, it's good for the anomalies' morale. A lot of things would be good for their morale, but they are not good for containment. So no. Two anomalies dating means that they have time to talk and plan their escape, co-using their abilities to their benefit. Now, Lord Dragonic, thank you for donating again through the Ko-Fi. Going to keep this short. Bloodpool has stopped screaming. That's good news. 90% of site staff are dead. That's not good news. Mobile Task Force Omega 7 only has SCP-105 left, currently repairing structural damage. Omega 7? They were disbanded years ago. Pandora's Box was decommissioned years ago. Now, Alpha 9, I believe it is, Last Hope, is currently where 105 is stationed. God, if your universe is that far back in temporal streams, then I do not relish the things you must be dealing with, Lord Dragonic. But hey, good news, everyone. Good news, everyone. If Omega 7 is what got routed, then that means we didn't lose 4051, Rainer Miller, your friendly neighborhood Keter. We didn't lose SCP-5031, yet another murder monster, because they weren't part of the team. So at least we have that. Also, of course, as 369 Destroyer says, keep an eye on Abel, because Abel will be back. Acting Site Director LD1, Head of Security. Full report will be emailed after repairs. All right. Well, yeah, clean it up the best you can. At least the blood pool stops screaming. We love that for you. Desk would like to iterate that some anomalies are allowed to date. The most common example is SCP-105 and SCP-166. Yes, unfortunately for me, sometimes the pataphysical narrative level above us is made up of idiotic, horny, gay romance enthusiasts. And so they write dating into our universe when it should be against protocol. I don't have to be happy about it. $369 Destroyer, thank you for what I think might be your first donation of today's stream. So grab yourself a cupcake on your way past the commissary. 7851 has successfully cured an instance of SCP-022-J-1. Wait a minute. That's possible? Without massive amnestics and or blows to the head? 7851 is an adolescent male humanoid. Most notable anomalous characteristic is seeming total immunity, cognitohazards, info-hazard, mimetic hazard, and other mind-altering anomalies. Can sometimes eliminate mind-affecting anomalies in others. Well, let us keep practicing with 7851 to see if we can cure everyone from this terrible, terrible this terrible cognitohazard regarding titanium's properties. Dr. Sherman, I don't want to date. SCP-166, a reminder that there is no canon, and so in your universe, you don't have to. But in other universes, other iterations of you might, just like other iterations of me in other canons that I've seen or heard about are absolutely awful. So yes, you are in control of your canon, thankfully. Lone Glaw, thank you for donating again to say. Remember, no matter what the K-class scenario, as the director of the Ion Project, I'll step in and handle things if you all mess up and perish. Ooh-woo. Yet another in a long line of backup plans, resets, and redundancies. Just in case, as Murphy Law says, when everything that could go wrong did. The idea of a non-asexual Sherman is haunting. It's like the Batman who laughs. I do not like to consider such things. And Site 42 staff, we are at the end of today's stream. A reminder, I need you, Mobile Task Force Psi 42, to head to SCP Blind Vector on YouTube. SCP Blind Vector, the new SCP live action short film. I am currently refreshing the page because I just want to see who has already followed orders. Now, I will say I have replied to several of you who followed orders immediately in the first place. I respect and commented in your replies because you did a good job. And now look at my browser failing. Actually failing really badly. Come back. Finally! 47 subscribers, 191 views, 50 more views than when I told you guys about it. So we have a reply from the team. Hurrah! Dexter Morgan for leaving a comment. Emperor Nolvo from leaving a comment on my comment. Good work, team. I will like your comments. And then Pitch Black Rose. Nico the League. These are my top comments. Let's go new. Blue Horntail, good work. Pitch Black Rose, good work. Avery the Doodler, good work. 953, good work. Dexter Morgan, good work. Spinning Fishes, good work. Nico, I don't know if you're here, but good on you anyways. Menti Andrea, good job for following orders before I even got there. Amber, good job for following orders before I even got there. Frogman, good job for following orders before I even got there. I don't know if Simon Monkey is one of ours, but Doe is good. Stevie, good for you. And Brinks, good for you, everyone who is commenting on this video to help spread it as per orders from Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters. If you are afraid of horror things and you don't want to watch it, put it on an iPad and walk away. Put it on and don't watch it. Turn the volume down, but let it play. Give it the algorithmic love forever. You can still serve in alternative fashions. Or, if you don't want to watch it, share it with other SCP friends you have. You don't even got to play it, although it would be good if you gave it the algorithmic juice. Hell, if you are a smaller channel, because I'm not allowed to do this, hit the hype button. Press hype so it gets your hype points. And let's hype this SCP live action film. Amber, you're saying, did I see the credits? You mean, did I see where I was handed a delightful special thanks from the team? I did, in fact. These guys are pretty cool. I appreciate their shout out in the special thanks section. They were very happy with the turnout of our first shout out, and I appreciate their special thanks, as well as shout out to you guys for making SCP films. I am thanking you for that. Also, I'm being informed that there are some new comments since I shouted out the comments. So SCP Boo and David Mata, thank you for going to comment, as well as Gabriel the Archangel and SCP Boo a second time. Double word score, good work. So, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, now that stream is ending, you have your orders to go like, share, subscribe to Fisk Productions and their SCP Blind Vector film so that they can get more attention on them. I did see a donation while I was talking about them floating away. Thank you for donating again to say. Is necromancy be standard use? We can recycle and use security personnel. Also, we can interview them on the anomalous method of their death. Does it affect the afterlife in anomalous ways? The SCP Foundation's thaumaturgical department is iffy on the use of necromancy. It does not work predictably, although in certain canons, the SCP Foundation does wield... Let me pull up the documentation here. There are certain Foundation dreadlords that are able to harness energies of certain anomalies using epic necromantic rituals. So, such as SCP-1333-J, codename The Screaming Man. So, that universe, if they can handle that entity, they can probably handle anything. But Site42, that is the end of our stream, and as at the end of every stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. Not that I'll tell you that my favorites are the ones I personally wrote, that would be cheating and narcissistic. But if you want to read the SCPs I wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can read the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And one tab over from those SCPs, you'll find a list of links. Links that a lot of people ask about in the chat, but then they're just not clever enough to go look where I am severely hinting them to go look. But not you guys. You guys are the clever ones. You will find those links. And when you do, alongside certain links, you will be able to become a Site42 Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat to donate to us one at a time. Either way, we appreciate your direct donations. They're the quickest way to help us in our mission to support the SCP community as best we can. And if you are part of the Broke Gang and you cannot donate, do not fret. We understand Broke Gang. We understand starving artists in an arts community. But you can still help us out by being a member of Mobile Task Force Site42, codenamed Signal Boosters. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, not just on our videos and streams, but on the works of SCP filmmakers we are supporting, like Fisk Productions, like SCP game devs, SCP merch makers, SCP podcasters, SCP animators like Dongen Dons, who visited our chat earlier today. When you go to the SCP Wiki and you upvote or downvote on articles that you like or don't like, if you enjoy the SCP art, you support the actual people who make SCP happen, then you are an avid, honored, valued member of Mobile Task Force Sci-42, codename the Signal Boosters. And we appreciate your support and aiding our mission together to support the SCP community and get bigger projects. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 399-304-303-Spooky-J, content warning, last one's a rough read. Site42 staff, this has been another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. If someone stood up in a crowd and raised his voice up way out loud and waved his arm and shook his leg, you'd notice him. If someone in the movie show yelled fire in the second row, this whole place is a powder keg, you'd notice him. And even without clucking like a hen, everyone gets noticed now and then. Unless, of course, that personage should be invisible, inconsequential. Me. Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. I tell ya, Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, could have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. I think Dr. Frogman realized that the sleep killers are invisible, and that's why we're singing a song about being invisible. It's appropriate to the themes of the SCP short film, Blind Vector, that you can watch now on YouTube. You see the thematic relevance is very strong. Good work, Dr. Frogman. I respect your thematic insights. Giselle and Matthew, thank you for subscribing to Site42. Welcome to staff. Be safe, be well, Site42 staff. The end credit song was Mr. Cellophane from the musical Chicago. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect.